Recently, the financial world was rocked by a bombshell. Powell couldn't hold it anymore. The Fed finally cut rates. On September 18 a.m. Beijing time, after a two-day policy meeting, the Fed cut its benchmark rate by 25 basis points, bringing it down to 4.25%. Global markets shaking hard. Commentaries and explained everywhere. But this so-called risk management cut, what is it really and what signals does it send? The Fed's policy is like a baton directing the global economy and financial markets. When it hikes, borrowing gets more expensive. That's hitting the brakes on an overheated economy, keeping inflation under control. When it cuts, borrowing costs fall. That's meant to push people to take loans, spend more, invest more, giving the economy an energy boost. Every Fed's adjustment of the rate shakes the global system. This was the first cut in 2025. That is the first in 9 months since last December. Why now? The reason behind it is complicated. Put it simply, America's health check looks pretty poor. Let's start with jobs. The Labor Department shows hiring has slowed sharply. Take August. Non-farm payrolls rose only 22,000, far below the expected 70,000. Unemployment rose to 4.3%. Even more worrying, the Bureau of Labor Statistics revised previous month's numbers down hard, meaning the job market is weaker than we thought. Weak jobs causing incomes hit, and households cut spending. And since consumption is the biggest chunk of US GDP, that engine is losing power because of the decreasing. Now, inflation. The Fed's key mission is controlling it. When inflation was high, the Fed hiked rates till they got tired. But now, inflation is still elevated, yet showing some signs of easing. August CPI rose 2.9% year-on-year. Core CPI rose 3.1%, close to forecasts. But inflation is sticky, it's falling slowly, sometimes bouncing back. And it hasn't reached the Fed's 2% target. So on one side, weak jobs, on the other, stubborn inflation. The Fed is walking a tightrope, discovering the balance carefully. In this context, Powell called the move a risk management step, not because the economy has already collapsed, but to act early preempt further deterioration. But it shows the Fed itself is uneasy, not that confident about the outlook. So they cut a rate right now, hoping to send a calming signal. At the press conference, Powell stressed this cut is not the start of a rate cut cycle, not a rush into fast-track easing. What he said made the markets reacted sharply. US stocks jumped at first on the cut news, but once Powell said it wasn't the start of consecutive cuts, they fell back. Why? Because markets had hoped the Fed would cut more, cut faster, deliver strong medicine to stimulate